Did you know that technically we've got two royal families here in Britain? The Windsors, who live in that rather small place over there, and the Bates, the rulers of Sealand. That's Prince Roy, Princess Joan, and their son, Prince Michael. Sealand is certainly the tiniest and most bizarre country in the world, located just off the Essex coast. Eccentrics maybe, but they've now set up Sealand as an internet haven, which they claim is beyond the jurisdiction of British law. Could this freedom be misused by terrorists? Tim Samuels investigates.
There are warnings of gales in Viking, South Fitzera, Forties, Fisher, German Bight.
The smallest and perhaps the strangest state in the world, but Sealand isn't exactly the most accessible.
100 miles.
Nor is it the most pleasurable to reach when prone to seasickness. Sealand stands 7 miles off the Essex coast in the middle of the North Sea. Getting aboard is somewhat hazardous and does wonders for the seasickness. But ahead lies the prospect of meeting royalty for the first time. Once I've been through passport control, they take the whole statehood thing very seriously over here.
Do you have any weapons, drugs or alcohol?
I don't know.
Fine. May I have your passport, please?
Yeah. It may not look it, but I'm in the presence of royalty. Michael Bates is also known as Prince Michael. Prince Michael of Sealand, that is. Do you ever insist on being called Prince Michael?
No. I mean, it was made a principality only to simplify the law.
Do you see yourself as a Sealander, or do you see yourself as British?
Both. I'm very patriotic towards Britain, so is my father. I mean, father, you know, generations of my family's fought in wars for Great Britain and everything. The biggest patriots around. I mean, it seems a bit paradoxical that we're doing what we're doing here, but certainly never would do any harm to Great Britain. No.
As things stand at the moment, do you think that this is sovereign territory? Is this an independent state?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
He's lived here since being a teenager, but Prince Michael spends less and less time on shore nowadays. How do you think it's kind of affected you growing up on such a kind of remote, crazy island?
I suppose it's what made me the normal person, the same sort of person I am today. Why are you laughing?
Resembling a squat oil rig, Sealand consists of a platform on top of 2 concrete towers, each of which have 7 floors inside them. All a bit rickety and ramshackle, but with enough home comforts for those that live on this bizarre country, like Colin, the head of security, who's been here for 21 years.
I am a Sealander. I've got my passport and a certificate to be a Sealander.
Why on earth would you want to live 8 miles out to sea, in the middle of the North Sea, on what is a fairly deserted platform?
Peace and quiet.
Do you have any friends or family on the coast?
No, I've got one lady friend, and that's all I've got.
Do you ever bring her out to Sealand?
Yeah, she's been out twice. Yeah.
Does she think you're a bit balmy?
Yeah, she thinks I'm cracked up. Yeah.
All around are the trappings of statehood. Sealand has its own national flag, structure of government and stamps featuring Michael's parents, the heads of the royal family. It was Michael's father Roy, a retired major in the British Army, who founded Sealand in 1967. At the time it was an abandoned World War II anti-aircraft platform, but lay outside the then 3-mile limit of British territorial waters. So Roy occupied the fortress, declared Sealand a sovereign country, and gave his wife the title Princess Joan.
They all said you can't do it, but they couldn't find any reason why we couldn't do it. And now they say
the international lawyers told me that yes, legally you can do it, but of course it's impossible. Worst thing you can say to me, really.
Do you think you're a frustrated colonialist?
Look, this little island of England built the biggest empire the world's ever seen, and it all started with people like me doing it, and then the Brits coming in to take it over. Well, they're not taking me over, but it's the same idea of it. You name it, Rhodesia, India, all over the place, all done the same way.
After more than 30 years living aboard Sealand, Princess Joan and Roy, who's in his 80s, now spends most of their time on dry land. But the Principality continues to evolve.
One of our computer rooms.
Sealand is embracing a radical new lease of life as a controversial internet venture. Down in one of the concrete pillars hums a batch of computer servers. This is what's billed as an internet data haven, where anyone who wants to keep a website or data away from the reach of governments can rent space here. For instance, among those operating is an online gambling site owned by Americans, which would be illegal back in the States.
The whole object of the exercise is that people that want to keep their data secure from hackers or commercial intervention or even government intervention can store data, store their emails without being snooped on, run their businesses without being snooped on, exchange financial information without being snooped on.
To meet its promise of keeping data secure, Sealand itself has to be safe from intrusion. At all times, someone keeps lookout, and firearms are kept on board.
We do have an armoury.
Right. Can we see it?
No.
What's in the armoury?
I can't tell you. But I mean, we have to police ourselves, look after ourselves, defend ourselves. We have come under attack in the past, so therefore, you know, we're not going to sit there like pussycats, are we?
Anti-helicopter equipment?
Yeah. Everything you'd expect.
The attack Michael refers to came back in the pre-internet days in 1978, when Dutch and German businessmen took Sealand by force, held Michael prisoner for 3 days, and filmed this declaration of a coup.
As Außenminister der Principality of Sealand.
But within days, the ex-Army Major Roy launched a helicopter counterattack and retook his country. The German businessman was thrown into Sealand's prison cell. What were they armed with?
Automatic rifle, automatic pistols, revolver, shotgun, all sorts of things.
How long did the German guy spend in jail downstairs?
Oh, only a few days, and we let him out when he was in his own, and he used to do the washing up, make the coffee.
Its own prison cell, armoury, passports. But as far as the Home Office is concerned, Sealand falls within British waters, which were extended to 12 miles in 1987. As the internet comes under increased regulation, particularly because of fears of a terrorist attack, the question of Sealand status is brought into sharper focus if it potentially provides a place for groups to operate online beyond the reach of national governments.
If the British government approached me on the subject of terrorism, I would talk to them.
Would you allow them access to the information which you promise your client is the safest internet information
If
in the
it
world?
breaks the Sealand law, then it's not safe. If it breaks the law of Sealand, which specifies terrorism as being illegal, then their information is not safe enough.
So ultimately you would let the authorities do that information if it could have links to terrorism?
If terrorists were using our system, then that machine would be closed down and thrown over the side.
Sealand is truly an extraordinary place. What motivates someone to turn a platform in the North Sea into an independent state seems to be rooted in sheer eccentric British bloody-mindedness. But now that Sealand provides a facility to bypass national laws regulating the internet, it may be that the government don't continue to keep turning a blind eye. However, Sealand is unlikely to go down without a fight.